Hi everyone, this is Jason from Lightspeed, and in this video I'm going to show you how to void a transaction. Now you can refund and exchange transactions in Lightspeed, and we've shown you how to do that in another video, but there may be a time or a set of circumstances under which you want to pretend that a transaction never happened in the first place. Maybe you rang up a transaction wrong, you want to just start over and ring it up again correctly. That's the kind of situation under which you might want to void a transaction. To do that, you're going to have to find the completed transaction in order to be able to void it. The easiest way to do that is going to be to go to Reports and Totals to bring up your basic sales report. And it's going to default to all of the transactions that took place today. And you can use the various search fields to pin down the specific transaction that you are looking for. But in this case, I am simply going to void this transaction number here, number 785. So when I click on that transaction, I'm going to open into that transaction's record, and I can see all of the details of it, the customer that is attached, the total sale price. I can see there were discounts applied in this case, all of the usual information you might get. And over here on the submenu on the left is Void Sale. We're going to click on that, and we'll be brought to the Void Sale function. There are a couple of things to note here. You can see that there is a section here that is differently colored, warning you that voiding a sale is permanent and cannot be undone. There is an additional triangle caution sign on the actual button that voids the sale, and we'll be seeing a further warning when we actually click that button as well. All of this to say that once you void a transaction, it cannot be unvoided. It will be voided, and the only way to redo that transaction is to ring it back up again from scratch. In this case, the reason for voiding is that we applied a discount in error, for example, and we're going to re-ring it. Once I've entered in a reason, which is optional but recommended, I'm going to click on Void Sale. There's that warning I was talking about, reminding you that this action is permanent and cannot be undone, and outlining exactly what's going to happen for you. So we'll remove all records of this transaction from the sales history. It restores all relevant inventory levels, so the items that were purchased will be put back into inventory, and it refunds all payments attached to this transaction. Now this is not automatic. If you've paid in cash, for instance, you will have to manually refund that. If you have paid via credit card, that will have to be refunded as well. However, if you are specifically using Cayenne as your payment processor and the transaction took place within 25 minutes ago via credit card, then that transaction will in fact be refunded back to the customer automatically. That is the only conditions under which that will happen. Otherwise, you will have to manually refund the customer as well. Once I click Void Sale, the void is complete and the sale has been voided. We can now see here under status, it is not complete, it is voided. Now, it did say that we were removing that from all records and sales history. However, there are still two reports under which I can still see transaction ID 785. If I go to Reports and I go to All Transactions, this includes every transaction that went through the register, whether it was completed or not. We can see not all of these have been completed. Whether it was canceled midway through, as was the case with 782, or whether it was voided, as is the case with 785, which we just did. Sometimes over the course of the day, your All Transactions report can be filled with transactions that were started, not canceled, not completed, simply navigated away from. So it can be a little harder to find what you're looking for. In that case, you can click on Reports and go to Voids, and this will show you a list of all voided transactions that took place, who it was voided by, and the reason that was given for the void. So you can always trace back what happened. That's why we recommend adding a reason whenever you void a transaction so that you have that record in your system. However, if I go to Reports and I look at my totals report for my sales for the day, we can see that 785 is no longer listed here, and it has been removed from the sales history. That concludes this video, but be sure to check out the Help Center for more information and videos.